Hey dears, Whimsy here, and in case you can't tell from this ensemble, I am so excited for JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 6 Donation. It feels surreal right now. There's been so many, fake leaks that even I'm not believing the official footage right now. I'm like, this is happening. We're finally getting Stone Ocean. And I don't know why it was like this running gag within the community that for whatever reason we weren't going to get part 6, which didn't make sense to me because we got all the other parts so far. Why not this one? Okay, before I get into what I'm most excited about for this upcoming season, I do want to warn that I will be giving manga spoilers for part 6 and anything up to the end of part 5 anime-wise, that's fair game. So if you're not caught up on the manga, or if you haven't watched all the seasons and you want to keep things a surprise, you might want to skip this video. Okay, with that said, let's get into the details, and I do want to say right off the bat, I am so excited for this part in particular because Jolene is my favorite JoJo. I feel like all the seasons, 1, 2, 3, it's not until season 4 that I feel like Araki really started improving as a writer and we started getting more complex characters. And Jolene just felt vulnerable to me, but strong at the same time, and I just adore her from the bottom of my heart. So I'm so excited to see her brought to life with the VA. I know she's been voiced in the video games. I haven't played them, so now I finally get to see her in action, and I adore her VA. Her name is something I, but she's just a sweetheart. And she's a huge JoJo nerd. She grew up on JoJo, so I'm so excited to see her get this role. I also want to talk about what scenes I'm most excited to get animated. I think one, probably FU in all the world's languages. She did that. She's very intelligent because she can speak a lot of languages. And probably number 2, Bohemian Rhapsody. I do not know how that arc is going to get animated because the whole thing is Disney characters being brought to life in Florida. So I don't know how on earth they're going to get around copyright laws because the mouse can be really tricky. I'm wondering if it's going to be considered a parody, if they have to change the images, but it's going to be really cool. Van Gogh gets animated too, and paintings and stuff. That's a really surreal, trippy fight. That's weird even by JoJo standards. This part 6 gets really weird with the people turning into snails, and probably the most convoluted ability ever with weather reports refracting rainbows turning people into snails. I don't know. I have to reread it sometime probably. But that's right. It reminds me of Junji Ito's Slug Girl a bit. And then probably number 3, I just want to see more of Dio, especially the "Do you believe in gravity" scene. I feel like part 6 really brings out another more human side to Dio, where he's just casually chilling and he feels a little bit more relatable because all those other parts he's this godlike being, and we get to see him more down to earth, just talking to Poochie. And I think just how they met is so hilarious, that he shows up at a church and he's a vampire and he's entering a church and there's a priest. It feels like fan fiction almost. I bet there should be tons of Poochie Dio fan fiction, and I really need to look that up because that's hilarious to me. I don't know if I'd said I'd only mention 3, but I've come up with a 4th, so let's just go with it. Giorno. He's absent, but he's the son of Dio, so I hope somehow David Pro integrates into part 6, at the beginning, kind of like a passing of a torch, a transitionary scene, kind of like what they did with part 5. But I almost wish, even though it's not canon, that they include Dio being a dad, because basically part 6 is we're dealing with his kids. And that's it. Okay, moving on to what I'm concerned about, and it has nothing to do with David Pro, because I feel like David Pro really respects the source material and they have a lot of love and care for the series, and I trust them. However, it looks like for part 6, Stone Ocean was acquired by Netflix, and I'm hoping that they're not going to do the typical release all the episodes in one batch. Now correct me if I'm wrong. I believe there is an exclusive Netflix worldwide release in December of this year, and then it's going to air in Japan starting January. For me, logistic-wise, it makes sense that they're not going to do all the episodes in December, because that feels like too early for them to have finished the entire series. I'm hoping that we're going to get installments, like the weekly episode release, because there's just this fun sense of anticipation and community when there's that episode that you're waiting for and everyone's buzzing and talking about it. I just feel like you don't get all of that when people are like at different paces. But enough of that tangent rant, or whatever you want to call it. Let me know what scenes you're most excited to see animated in Stone Ocean down below in the comments. And as always, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the flip side. See ya!